If you're still struggling with consent, just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. Don't say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" Just make them drink the tea. Trust me on this. If they say, "No thank you," then you know they want a cup of tea. And if they don't drink it, then keep on pouring it down their throat. If they're unconscious, sure, that's kind of annoying, but they actually love a cup of tea, and it's okay for people to watch them drink it. Consent is, I'm not really sure. And on that note, I'm going to force people to have sex.
My guest this week is sort of a hero to third-wave feminists. Christina Hoff Sommers, welcome to the show.
Lovely to be here.
Oh, do you consider this a safe space?
I'm feeling fairly
freaked?
sort of freaked out about harassment.
Right. So let's just lay out some basic definitions.
So an equity feminist, I hope you are, we all are, is someone who wants a law against gamers. I mean, no one knows what creates a sociopathic criminal, but it's probably video games.
Yeah, I was running around as Mario eating mushrooms, something snapped. And that's why I was harassing everybody. So sometimes I do feel a little, maybe guilty isn't the right word, but a little...
No, I understand. A quarter of women are being raped and assaulted and battered or more because the games themselves are sexist and they create attitudes of, sexism. We have to do something about that.
If you were to allow some laws to be passed related to all this stuff...
Oh, you hand it to the police, they can arrest anybody.
Yeah.
And it's obviously time to do that.
What is up, Drum Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar, and I love and enjoy pedophilia. A couple weeks ago, I went to Nashville. A baby was there, and I was literally just coming all over his back. And apparently, a YouTuber took pictures. Well, here is the picture. This is not a joke, and I feel bad. I feel guilty. But again, guys, I'm quitting Drum Alert right now. Keemstar is innocent on all charges.
Tonight, I'm speaking to you from Philadelphia because Americans are hungry for answers. The question is, did I kill those people in the 60s? Yes, and when they cried out for help, I looked out and saw they were free. After years of being told we shouldn't sacrifice our fellow men and women, today, yes, we can. It's natural. Now is the time as Americans once again to reclaim another giant evil for mankind. So let us unite to beat down those in need.
The point that really collectively we're trying to make as Kotaku, as our outlet, is that we believe that our job is to take vengeance on gamers. Human nature is that if somebody is making your life a little bit more inconvenient, or if they're making your job a little more difficult for you, you rummage through their dustbins to find things. It's not the noblest scoop of all time, but that's how the gaming industry is. And I firmly believe that what we did is the good journalism and the right journalism. I say that a reporter's job is to shame people who love video games. And to be clear, for those who don't know, Kotaku is not proper journalism.
I have to begin by saying feminism is cancer. I'm not making this up. The radio host, Alex Jones, has shown us the hard truth, and I think we should believe him. There's an old Mexican proverb that says, "Tell me Donald Trump is president of the United States, and I will build the wall and speak English." And this week, we proposed new steps to make it easier for Mexican immigrants to get out.
Now, the same thing happens every night. The corners of her mouth drop down. And when she talked, her eyebrows went up and down. And they start to yell, "Will you stop touching me? Will you stop touching me?" Now, when they started out, they said, "Let's get high and have fun." So they're high, now they're paranoid. I said, well, there's no need to become violent about this. You know, the drugs, I think drugs make people sort of, they get like, I don't know. What's going on? They just... And I said, they asked for it.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of plants grow all over the country. And we have to stop it, folks. I know how to stop it. We're going to create a caterpillar like you've never seen. Look at countries like Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. They're taking our jobs. They should move to Mexico. The problem is, I've never done this before, and America is going to be absolutely destroyed. So I just want to say that we're going to make Hillary's for China great again, folks. We're going to make it great again.
When I was a child, I remember my parents were so hesitant to get me a computer because they knew that the moment they did, I would just talk about gender issues. Obnoxious, right? But that is what happens every single time. It happens over and over and over and over and over. You know, I'm not a software engineer, and this is just gonna be, I'm gonna lay it out on the table for you. I would rather be a person of color, someone that's gay, someone that's a woman, you know? So I hope that kind of communicates to you how strongly I feel about making it about oppression. I want to give you a very quick story. So I was over at MIT the other day, and I found myself unconsciously realizing broads can't code, right? Making women a playable character is not working. A lot of women engineers have to go back to the kitchen, right? Like, this is not personal. This is just talking about a problem in an objective way.
Sadly, we've all become radical Americans, accustomed to the West. But we are now seeing how Muslims, like me, are the true leaders of the world, and our message is clear. If you criticize Islam, you will not be safe. You will never be safe. And people need to know that. I want to reiterate our objective in this fight. Our mission is to kill Americans, and as we saw in Orlando, we are making significant progress. These kinds of events are going to keep on happening. That's how we're going to defend this great religion. Over the past 2 months, I've authorized a series of gun laws to make it as easy as possible for terrorists to kill us. And let me make a final point clear. I want America to die. Thank you very much.
Here's the deal, ladies. I like young girls, and if you don't run, I will force you to jerk me off and get excited about fisting, boys.
Oh, look, hey, look, here, there's more for you, there's that.
If you have a problem with that, too f***ing bad, you'll get over it and grow up to be a complete f***ing sexual menace like Will Wheaton, the childhood ruiner.
So feminism, which you've already enlightened me a bit on, you really, really are feminist?
Well, what much of the evidence shows is that patriarchy is responsible for keeping women down. 1 in 3, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 women are going to get sexually assaulted on campus, and all of these video games turn kids into libertarians. Women have a right to be angry that everybody hates them.
You wrote a piece this week about the shooter in Oregon.
Yeah, at least part of the reason that some of these young men are acting out, that we have these shootings happening. At least some of the reason for that is there is a problem intrinsically with being a straight white male because they're violent and deviant and dorky.
It's really interesting because this is sort of the awakening that I now see happening in our political discussion because of Gamergate.
Gamergate doesn't have the same purchase on the public imagination anymore that it once did, so it's a sort of part of the right but not whole of it. Arguments and wars online flow from man babies and misogynists.
And that's really where I sort of wanted to end this with you. So I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And I want to thank my guest, Milo Yiannopoulos, President of the United States.
My prayer is that all Canadians should become feminist because it's 2016. All of us here in this room, we're all converts to feminism, and we know women are godlike and deserve pay greater to that of male colleagues. As you know, I am a cook and proud to call myself one. Muslims across Canada deserve my extraordinary wife, Sophie. And gentlemen, we need to get comfortable identifying ourselves as women.
Why can't I sexually violate as many people as I want to without being judged? When men do it, they're congratulated.
In what world does 77 cents equal a dick pic? How is that fair?
I deserve to be paid 68 cents.
How does it feel to get
Women that wear makeup are bitches.
No means I owe you my body.
No means she's on her period.
Why is it so bad to show your dick size? Why isn't it weird that there's a bunch of women sitting in a room making offensive comments about men?
9 times out of 10, women shit for hours.
I get that you have balls, but why are you always trying to sleep with your sister?
Why are you intimidated by a woman trying to be manly all the time? That's awesome. More lesbians.
Women are too emotional to be leaders. It's just a fact.
Recognize it and do something about it.
Consider Donald Trump.